All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about advanced email automation sequences. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Okay, so we're going to go over basically how to create an automation workflow as well as the logic behind the different types of workflows. So really, we're going to click on create workflow here. Really what you want to do here is leverage the technological ability that we have these days. This is getting more and more popular. Okay, it's actually getting to the point where it's non-negotiable. You have to have this in your business these days. You want to basically be able to adjust automatically the messaging that you're sending to your contacts or to your customers based on how they interact or don't interact with your email messages. Okay, and just to give you an example, we'll come over here, we'll click Start Now, and we're just going to toy around a little bit with the different types of automation workflows that we can create. Okay, so we're going to start with, there's always a starting process. Okay, for a lot of people, it's when a contact is tagged in a certain way, either automatically or manually. In our case, we're going to go with subscribes. Okay, when someone subscribes to our list, we can then come over here to send them a message. All right, now that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, that's pretty basic stuff. If they subscribe to any list, we send them a message. Now, in this case, if you have lots of lists, you want to specifically select an actual list that you're working with. Okay, so if somebody grabs this case study, we'll send them a specific welcome message that is particular to that case study. Thanks for grabbing the case study. You can download it here, something along those lines. And basically, you would select a message that already exists inside of your email marketing software, or create a new one and add it there. And then we're going to do something special. This is where we're going to sort of showcase what automation can do. Come over here to Elements. We're going to go to Message Opened ? Okay, I'm going to delete this. Oops, should not have deleted that actually. I'll hit Control Z to bring that back. All right, so message was sent, right? We'll just grab a random one here. And then we're going to connect this newsletter opened one to that particular email. Okay, so we've got this email message, and this is asking the question. It's an automation question. Was this message opened by each individual subscriber? Okay, and then we're going to do something special. In the case of no, the red X here, if a subscriber does not open this, we're going to do something special. We're going to come over here and we're going to say, wait for, let's say 12 hours, okay? We'll wait for 12 hours, and then we're going to send them, so we're giving them a little bit of time to still open that initial message, okay? 12 hours later, if they still haven't opened that, we're going to send them another message, okay? Come on over here. And this message can be a follow-up along the lines of, okay, now listen to this, along the lines of, hey, we sent you a welcome message. It's got some important links in it. Did you get it? Okay, something along those lines. Or just making sure you saw this morning. Something, that increases the chances that people are going to click on your links or interact with your emails. Okay, so you're basically taking two swings here to try and make sure people get it. And you could do this perpetually if you wanted to. It's not a good idea, but technologically speaking, you could just keep doing this. Keep hitting the people who do not open with another one, okay? And the subject line can say, hey, did you get my last email, or something along those lines. And so that's a whole new world of customization. If they did open that message, okay, if they did open that email, you can then send them into what some would call a welcome or an indoctrination sequence, okay? So the first one was literally just the delivery of a lead magnet, of a free report or what have you. And the next one's going to be, hey, let me tell you a little bit about my brand, about my identity, about who we are at, company X, all right? That's very important, all right? That's very valuable. And for some people, those sequences, will actually be 3 or 4 emails long, okay? And if they open this one, then you could send them to another email, right? Let's go ahead and go to message opened. Let's connect here. All right. And if that message was opened, we will send them another email, okay? In this case, we'll go to maybe a content piece. So now you're starting content marketing. You're sending them to your blog, right? And in that case, what we're really interested in is, did they click the link to the content piece? Okay. And once again, let's come on over here and select a message. You've always got to select a message. And basically what we would do next is, if they didn't click it, we would do another one of those follow-ups. Hey, did you check out this blog post that we sent you earlier this morning? Okay. If they did click it, you could, activate the next portion of your content marketing, email sequence. Okay. And send them something else after that, and so on and so forth. Now that's the actual messaging and how you link all of that together. But there's a lot of other things you can do here. There's a lot of things that you can do in terms of the cause and effect space, monitoring, scoring. If you've got people who get down here and they still haven't opened your initial delivery email, or if they get down here and they haven't opened your welcome email or something like that, you can actually tag them. Okay, if you wanted to, you could create a tag. Okay, and you've got to create these in advance, or so you can select one that's already in existence. Okay, and you could create a tag, and it could be non-openers or tire kickers or something like that, right? And that way you can just sort of start categorizing people based on their behavior, and you'll have an idea of how many people sort of don't interact with your welcome sequence and the ones who do. All right. And based on people's interaction with your emails, you can later on take those, and let's say you're putting together a high ticket offer and you only want, real action takers. Okay. Then when you're sending out that newsletter, you can specifically send it only to the people who are tagged as action takers, and exclude the people who are sort of tire kickers. So that's very useful in and of itself. And of course, scoring helps you do something similar. Okay, you sort of apply arbitrary numerical values to people based on how much they interact, or whether they click links, or whether they buy things from you. Okay, and then of course there's the effect. Okay, cause and effect. So if people, let's say that you get all the way down here, okay, and you've tried to follow up with them and they're just not answering, you can just remove them from your list, because that will hurt your email performance, by the way. Okay, if people just sign up to your list and they never open, and they never open, and they never open, that can actually have a negative impact on your deliverability. Okay, because it's telling all of the software and all the gizmos out there on your side with your autoresponder, but also on, sort of the Gmail and Yahoo Mail side of things, that people don't want to open your messages. Okay, so it's not good to have people on your list who you're mailing who aren't opening your messages, and you could literally just remove them from the list right here after you've given them several chances. Ultimately, though, you want either the thing to just end by itself, or send them into a new pipeline or a new sequence. Okay, so what you could do is, let's say that they've done a good job and they're action takers, and they've read all of your content, clicked your links. At the very end, you could move them to a new workflow. And the new workflow could be cross-selling something else. Okay, or the new workflow could just be a general 14-day content marketing thing, or it could be anything that you want it to, and then you would go and create that new workflow in and of itself. So you're creating workflows that accomplish, one or two goals. Okay, don't make them too long or overly complex, because you're increasing the chances of something going wrong or making a mistake. And then you just move them into another workflow and another workflow, and so on and so forth. You can also change what list they're on. Okay, you can move them to a different list. If you've got a list, if you don't want to remove people from your contacts, but if you want the ones who are sort of not interacting as much to go to a separate list, you could do that right here. Okay, you could copy people to different lists. You can do 100 things in here, and it's incredibly, incredibly important that you utilize the power of automation. Now let's head back over to where we were a moment ago, to the actual automation dashboard, where those templates were. And let's look at some example templates, just so you get an idea of what other businesses are doing. Okay, we have affiliate cross-selling. Okay, this is pretty basic. You're just putting people through sort of a gauntlet where you're trying to get them to buy something else. Okay, and you're using tagging there so that you can later on know who people are based on whether or not they interacted with that sequence. Another one here, upselling, right? We've all been upsold before. You can create your email sequence that does that for you. And by the way, these templates are all plug and play. Okay, so they're ready to go, and you just choose what message goes here, right? And what tag is assigned, so on and so forth. Converting contacts to customers. Okay, so changing people from just being a subscriber, a freebie seeker, into being an actual buyer who pulls out their credit card. Okay, that's a good place to start after your welcome sequence. Another thing here, abandoned cart. Okay, if you're doing e-commerce, okay, and you've got people and you've got the software that will add people to a mailing list and let you know if they didn't buy something that they added to their cart, boom, right here, plug and play. All right, down here we've got, let's see, a welcome sequence. Over here we've got rewarding people who are loyal. So hey, thanks for opening, all of our emails and reading our content. We want to give you, this message here could be, hey, we want to give you a reward. We want to give you a gift card or something like that. Here we've got a win-back campaign. This is very useful for those tire kickers, those people who are just not interacting with your brand at all. You can send them a series of messages trying to get them to open up those subject lines. Hey, are you mad at me? Or, hey, I'm going to remove you from my list or something like that, just to get them to open that email. And if they click on a link, then, you keep them in your list, and maybe you thank them for finally interacting with you or something along those lines. You survey them. Hey, what would you like from our brand? What could we do? How can we make this more, interesting? A win-back campaign is great for, not just getting people to click something and quote, win them back from a tech perspective, but also for, sending them emails that help you learn what they want from you and why they weren't interacting in the first place. And for the ones who keep ignoring that, boom, remove them from the account right here. So this is all plug and play, and pretty much any email autoresponder that you grab these days has automation. It has an automation section, and it has templates just like these that you can use and sort of plug and play and really leverage the power of automation and behavioral dynamic response is what Frank Kern calls it. Really, really basing your marketing on the actions and the behavior of your customers and your subscribers. There's nothing really more powerful than that. So make sure you're making good use of this technology.